Spaghetti cacio e pepe o tonnarelli, there is not another pasta. Believe me. From Rome, we love. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel and like, share, comment if you want more. And that's it.
This super simple Italian pasta dish has made the entire culinary world go crazy. Let's talk about it.
Let's start with the name. Cacio is the Italian word that means cheese, normally referred to Pecorino Romano, hard-shaped milk cheese, famous for its sharp and salty flavor. And Pepe means pepper, that is the other main ingredient of this dish. And together cacio e pepe means cheese and pepper. That might not sound too much, but believe me, it's a lot more than that. And so what exactly is a cacio e pepe? It's a simple dish made with few ingredients, just cacio and pepe and spaghetti, but the technique is the most important. The pasta, of course, is cooked al dente and mixed with the cheese and the pepper and the water from the boiling of the pasta till we got this beautiful creamy texture typical of the cacio e pepe. The cacio e pepe have a rich history dating back to the ancient Rome. According to the legend, was the favorite dish of the first emperor Augustus. The dish was so beloved by the Romans that is even mentioned in the poet Petronius on the first centuries before Christ. And actually that's it. Today you can find cacio e pepe in the menu all over the world. Like for the aglio e olio, spaghetti vongole is one of the iconic dish of Italian cuisine. There are two ways to get done this beautiful, iconic Italian dish. The first one, you can grate your cheese and in a bowl melted with a little bit of boiling water from the pasta pan. And that's it. When you combine all this, you get this kind of creamy texture. Second one, you can do it alla minute. That means you strain your pasta in fried pan, you add a little bit of water, you start slowly incorporating the cheese. Most important things to take care is the temperature. If your spaghetti are too hot, the fried pan is too hot, what is doing the cheese is what we call split. That means separating itself from the fat. Just two ingredients. Of course, in another video we will work on the fresh pasta, but really need a lot of attention. How I always say, the most easy dishes are the most difficult. And what about our ingredients? We have the cacio, Pecorino Romano DOP. We just will grate it. And you see that? This is what we need. It's not a science, it's just grated, beautiful Pecorino Romano. Our black pepper, and that's what we want. You see? Crushed pepper, still with a little bit of grain, you know, crushed grain. Aroma, it's incredible, guys. You cannot get it with the powder. our fresh pasta. I will use tonnarelli, homemade. Quantity of our ingredient. Of course, we normally at home we do it by heart, how we say, but let's be precise. For me, every 300 to 350 gram of spaghetti or tonnarelli, like in this case, we use 200 gram of Pecorino Romano and 2 large spoon, let's say, of pepper. And that's it. Magic tools of today. We will use a mortar to crush our pepper and a grater. Yeah. Of course, I will put the link in bio. I bought everything by Amazon. And what we will do? We put the water on the fire. That means we start the boiling process. In the meantime, in the mortar, we crush our pepper. We grate our cheese, and after we strain the pasta in the pan, we add the pepper, the cheese, a little bit of water from the pasta, slowly, and we get this creamy texture. That's it.
This super simple Italian pasta dish has made the entire culinary world go crazy.
You know, Italian cuisine is just that. 2 ingredients, 3 ingredients, but if are not the best, you don't get it. You know what I mean?
Let's talk about the cheese for both of these pastas. They both have the same cheese, which is Pecorino Romano, which is a sheep's milk cheese. Pecorino meaning sheep, Romano meaning from the Roman region. So this is 100% sheep's milk cheese. So a lot of our lactose intolerant friends can actually have this.
One important thing to keep in consideration. Remember, the Pecorino Romano is quite salty. That means when you put salt in your water for the pasta, keep in mind that to reduce the amount of salt, because otherwise you end up with a salty pasta. And our kitchen tools now. We have a tongue, and we have a spoon, let's say like that. We have a pan, and the pot for the water for the pasta. That's it. And that's it, guys. That's the one.
So how do we ensure that we get the smooth cheesy sauce and not the stringy one? Well, it really all comes down to controlling one variable: heat. The most important temperature to regulate in cacio e pepe is twofold. First is the melting point of the cheese, which, as noted in On Food and Cooking, is around 180 degrees Fahrenheit for hard-aged cheeses like Parmigiano Reggiano and the Pecorino that we are using today. Secondly, it's the temperature that protein denaturation starts, which, again from On Food and Cooking, is around 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Here are 2 bowls of water mixed with Pecorino cheese, and as you can see, they are drastically different. The only thing I changed was how much heat I applied. So I added a spoonful of water to each pot, and to one I brought up to a boil, and the other I painstakingly kept around 160 degrees Fahrenheit. To each of those, I added 40 grams of grated Pecorino cheese and stirred them in together. Now, the boiling water quickly denatured the proteins in the cheese, where they then coagulated into this stringy mess. The 160-degree water, on the other hand, still denatured the cheese and was stirred in, but it did not coagulate. In fact, we actually have a semblance of a sauce. I mean, mix that with some hot pasta and we're good to go. Remember our sauce graphic from earlier? Well, cheese on its own is already a semi-solid emulsion made up of water, fat, and proteins. But when cheese is heated, those three components begin to split. Again, from On Food and Cooking, it is noted that first at around 90 degrees Fahrenheit is when the milk fat starts to melt, and it often brings those little beads of melted fat to the surface. Then as we go up in temperature, around 130 for soft cheeses, 150 for cheddar, and 180 for the Parm and our Pecorino, enough of those bonds holding the proteins together break down, and it allows the cheese to flow as a liquid. So as that cheese is heated, first the proteins are denaturing, which makes them lose their rigid shape and become loose. Now, this is completely fine, but if too much heat is applied, those denatured proteins are highly susceptible to coagulate with each other, and this is where chaos ensues. Cheeses are their stringiest right around their melting point, and like we saw earlier, the proteins get super tight and coagulate together, and this pushes out all the fat and water. So we need to do everything in our power to keep the cheese above the denaturation temperature, but below the melting point.
My suggestion for this recipe as a book, La Cucina Romana di Roberta e Rosa d'Ancona, beautiful book about the culture, the history of my city food, Roma. Of course, you will find the cacio e pepe recipe, like the carbonara, the puttanesca, matriciana, and all you need to know about the Roman cuisine. Available in Amazon, just in Italian, there is not an English version. What to do? And time to test this beauty. Look at that. Nice and creamy, smell unbelievable. Enjoy, guys. Let's make your own. So simple, so nice. The best pasta ever. Believe me. Very nice. Fresh pasta is making the difference. There is no a better pasta, guys, believe me. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel and like, share, comment if you want more. And that's it. Spaghetti cacio e pepe o tonnarelli, there is not another pasta. Believe me. And that's it.